Before I start, I want to give a big shout out to As of Hill versus Babyface. I saw him post about this, and I was like, hey, send me the details. And he sent me exactly what I needed, because he's been one of the ones that has been keeping his pulse on what's going on here. And big shout out to him and what he's been doing. Like I've said before, people that are in that reviewer space, it's more useful for them to keep tabs on what's going on than it is for your average customer. And definitely if it means that you guys won't go out of your way to go see this dog shit. That's for fucking sure. But holy fucking shit, Naomi. And I'll be fucking open as I want to be, or as I can. I did say that Naomi was one of the better comic book, that limited series that she got. It was like 5 issues. It was one of the better versions or tries, as shit of a writer Bendis can be, at DC to say, okay, we're going to have an original hero, okay? Black hero, and they're not going to have much ties to previous characters. Naomi's one of the better adaptations of that, if you actually read that series. I'm not sitting over going to say it's like the greatest thing in the fucking world, but it's decent enough. But I already knew what the fuck the emphasis was going to be when they announced that it was going to be covered, have a live action. Then I was getting like, okay, I was like, dude, this character fucking just came out. It's one of those Marvel type of situations where you have like the Kamala Harris Khans and the Riri Williams, Riri Williams. Like, these are characters that just got created. They just got created, and they're already getting live action adaptations. You knew it was going to be dead on arrival. They didn't even allow the character to be really developed there. And they focused on, emphasized, of course, this racial aspect. I saw that coming as well. As been keeping tabs certainly on just how bad of a show that it is. But this is what the CW is producing. And again, big shout out to Az for this. They had a season finale. And the season finale is literally the worst. I don't know how they did this. The season finale, which should be the opposite, is the worst goddamn viewed show in terms of its ratings. It's the worst viewed show. Az told me it was like only 80,000, I think, of the like target demo. 60,000, something like that. Watch that. It's fucking terrible. Like, look at this data. So it got worse and worse and worse. If you look at the viewers by the millions, it got worse and worse and worse. It started off at a 0.8 in terms of viewers by the millions, and then the target demographic 1.14, and then it just went down. It got worse and worse. There was no influx. I'm looking at it right now. All right, so it went up in what is that, like the 6th or 7th episode? From this one to this one, it went up, and then it went back down. And so the worst viewed show was the fucking season finale, and nobody watched that for the most part. We're looking at this data like nobody watched that. There was nobody watching the show. I will say this. You have to go out of your way to not have comic book material reviewed or in a positive light in a set of live action right now. It is the prime ripe audience right now. This is what everybody's trying to replicate because of the development of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and all that. So if you somehow make trash, which CW has made its share of dog shit in the comic book space, well, you had to go out of your way to do that. And I would encourage, though they're never going to listen to me because these guys got promotions, right? These people that made, for example, Batwoman, they're getting promoted. They're going to do Gotham Knights, even though they just had that failure of the show. Now I know CW's kind of floating in limbo right now with the merger and all that. I know they were talking about selling off assets with CW. I don't know what that means for like the DC properties and all that. But holy shit, man. What are y'all doing over there? Stop writing for an audience that doesn't exist. Stop, man. It works in certain avenues, but it's not a dependable or reliable audience enough to keep consistently, like with TV shows, right? So where you're depending on this audience every week, and they're not even paying anything aside from maybe their cable or whatever, but they're not paying anything to, like a movie or a game or show, like having to get another streaming service. Well, I guess they can technically do that. You get what it is that I'm saying. And they not watching your shit at all, dude. Like, if they're not doing that, you are in trouble. And obviously, because, you know, money, but I mean, hell, with views like that, we probably could have got a Rippaverse commercial, like right smack dab in the middle. It would have probably ran us like only $300 or some shit like that. It had to be going for cheap because nobody's watching it. So that ad space had to go for basically nothing. Stop. But they didn't listen to me. I can tell them stop all day long. They double down. That's the way of the Hollywood elites. Double down. Right as I was about to close my show, we just got word that Naomi was canceled. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.